Hi, I'd like to give you an overview and some background information of what happened during the first year of my garden vineyard. How did I plant it? How did I plan it? And how was the development during the first year? This was last year, 2019. This video is sort of a prelude to the first video of the series I posted a while ago called Second Year Garden Vineyard, where I showed the pruning during this year's winter season after last year's growth. The first thing was to actually know where I'm going to plant. During the house purchase process, we actually calculated the sun trajectory during the year to see how much sunlight we would get in our flat and consequently in our garden during the year. We used the website zonneverlauf.de. For the vine, I noticed that there are two potential spots. One with the morning sun, which runs through it during the day and has shadows in the end of the afternoon. And the second is with direct sunlight in the end of the morning until the late afternoon. The results of Zonneverlauf.de were quite reliable and quite accurate regarding to my actual experience nowadays. The second important point was to check the soil, not the actual composition. I never came to this, although I planned it and I thought about it a lot, but rather if there is space under the ground for the root system to grow. From my readings, I got the information that as much up as down, meaning the growth of the vine is proportional. For this, I came to the conclusion to the construction site and observed where there was real soil growing down meters and meters, and where there would be the underground building or the garage with the concrete cover. Based on this, I was able to decide where exactly to position the vines. Consider that they need to be about 1.5 to 2 meters apart. I calculate I would have space for no more than 6 vines. I decided to go with 3 of root adequate to city vineyard, where soil is made of reminiscent of a construction site, stones and other the material, not good sand, not good soil, not extra rich, and 3 root systems of a slow growth and flat, meaning less deeper growth root system, to be planted in the area where I consider more near or more likely to grow in the direction of the garage. The first root is called 5BB, and the second is the 3309 root, the weak one. The selection was done with the coaching of the Rebschule Maya, a well-known provider of vine stock. The varietal chosen was based on my preferences and local denominations. I picked Merlot. I also read and decided on which kind of trailing system I wanted to use. For the space I have, the least space consuming, the most compact and less chaotic, the better. I decided for a variant of a single branch trailing. I found some information on the website fassadegroen.de by googling it that gave me some ideas. As I am still on my second year, or first year if you count the first year as year 0, it is difficult to say if my improvised trailing will work or not. For one thing, the root system seems to have the opposite behavior of what I had expected. Where I planted a flat and a weak rooting, the growth of the foliage has been strong and substantial, and where I planted the normal 5BB root, the growth seems rather weak. And no, I did not mix up. I still have the blue labels on the vines stating which is which. Maybe they mixed it up at the Rebschule Maya, I don't know, but that's what I've observed so far. Can be that it changed during the years. Let's see. For the actual planting, I stuck 3/4 of the vine in the ground, or about 30 centimeters, letting 10 centimeters outside, making sure that the connection point between the root and the top is underground. I did not press the earth around it, I just closed it a little bit and poured some small amount of water on top of it, but didn't water it completely, just to close the hole. One of the vines spent a week on a spot before I took the decision of moving it to the place where all the plants were. Other plants from my garden and were there, and this was planned by the gardener. My initial plan was to have it there, but during the construction of the house, the gardener planting some plants exactly where I was planning to have my vines. Those plants were not supposed to be there in the first place, according to the garden plan I received. In the end, I successfully removed this plant and that were there about 6 months, and planted them elsewhere. The planting of the vines was quite late for the season, I have to say, end of April 2019. Ideally, it would have been planted end of March, end of winter. This caused the foliage to appear late or very late in the summer. We had a very hot summer last year and the growth was very strong. Between summer and autumn I did some pruning, cutting some excess growth out of the main stem, and this probably gave extra force for the growth of the main stem. In autumn and winter last year was very weak, meaning very hot, and we had green leaves up until the end of the year. As you can see in the video already posted, the second year pruning winter season. I hope this gives you some overview of what I did and what happened during the first year.